Hey, good day, folks. I want to welcome you to another edition of MLC Talk. This is the platform we discuss all things illusory. Today we have a very special guest in our studios today. We will be bringing him shortly. But Elijah, how you been doing up there, man? We had a thunderstorm down here. It was so severe. A lot of the lighting went out, and maybe I have my mouth
Yeah,
on Minnesota a little bit. That's the reason why.
you've been picking a lot of bones in Minnesota, but our cool. Now the winter is turning against you guys over there. I saw there were a lot of flash flooding happening as well, like
Yes.
people moving
Hmm.
all around and stuff to that. But I hope
Yeah.
your situation can get better. We are negative,
Yeah.
almost like -10 degrees here today, even though the sun is shining, but we're chilly cold right now. So,
Oh,
but however the
yeah.
case is, we are glad to be back on here.
Okay.
Um, and we can get this show started and going. Like you said, we have our friend and brother from the Lutheran Church
Yep.
in Liberia who's in public service, not
Yep.
just being in public service, but a real key player public in the public service right now. So just Woody, how was the Sunday
Yep.
today?
Sunday
Before
was
we
wonderful. Yeah, and I'll be honest with you that today unfortunately I did not have the chance to go to church. To be honest with you, I did not go to church.
same here. I didn't go to church
Yeah,
today as well.
yeah, yeah.
But
So
however the case might be, we still have life and we are sitting here to
absolutely.
discuss. So to kick the
Yep.
ball rolling, we would like to bring
Yep.
our guest in
Yep.
studio. The Honorable
Yep.
Smo Molova is here with
Absolutely.
us.
Yes.
We want to say
Yes.
welcome,
So,
Honorable Smo Molova.
No, thank
welcome,
you,
welcome,
thank you,
welcome, welcome. Yeah,
thank
welcome.
you, thank you, thank you. It's a pleasure to be with you guys. Especially, I would like to say good evening to our listening audience as we discuss issue pertaining to our country and church.
Now,
Yep.
now,
Yep.
now, when you
Absolutely.
always like to say, I'm an alcoholic. Now
Yeah.
we got three alcoholics in the building.
You're right.
Absolutely.
You're right. You're
Absolutely.
right.
And yeah,
You're
yeah, yeah,
right.
yeah. You know, this morning I was just trying to recount some of our experiences, man, and we try to write them down. I don't think we have a book. We have one, two books. I mean, we're gonna write a whole lot.
Yeah, a whole lot.
Man,
Yeah, whole lot.
yeah, man, I don't know a whole lot, but one thing I would just say is that despite our dear brother is one of those individuals that despite his position, currently in public service, even before public service, despite his position, I mean, he never turned a blind eye on where he came from. So,
You're right.
I mean, any time I mean, we have access to our dear brother despite his status in public service, in the society,
Mm-hmm.
and most of our other brothers from the Lutheran Church. This is something that I really take pride in that. I mean, this is not just an opportunity to take for granted that every little piece of stuff not really important and just reach out to them. No, but I mean they are easily accessible to us. That's one of the blessings that we have and we can really take for granted. And my brother, we want to say thank you very much. We had a conversation before, and publicly again, I want to say thank you for your service and
You're
please
right.
continue to remain humble. Continue
You're
to
right.
carry on the legacy of the old man. Man, listen, I become so emotional. Man, look, we come from
Yeah.
way back, man, way
You're way
back,
down the
way back.
line. You're
Yeah,
right.
I know. But welcome again, man.
uh,
Welcome. This is the platform we discuss
thank
all
you.
things Lutheran, and
Thank you. Thank you.
at some time it becomes fiery. We have to remove all the gloves and everything. But we want to say
I
welcome,
know.
and and
Thank
and
you.
and,
Thank
and,
you.
and one thing I would tell you, Elijah will bear with me that this is you know how people say when you come to America you drink the water. So when you come to MSC talk, you drink the water and just make sure that you're gonna be coming back again. So
I know. I know.
Elijah, man, we have our guest here. We'll
No,
see you. Yeah.
I just allow you to have your moment, Willie, because you can like retrospecting and going back and trying to
Yes,
like where we've
absolutely.
come from, where we
Yes,
are
Yeah.
right now, and that's the
yes,
dynamics of life right now. we were
Yeah.
all down there, and now we've transitioned in life, and we all
Yeah.
are being the women now, doing our own
Yeah.
at different levels. And
Hmm.
we're glad that we have the honorable Small Moluba here. Like on an ordinary day, we just call him Small, right?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's it.
Honorable Small Moluba because that's his title. That's something he earned. That's something he worked very hard for.
I've,
So we want to
I've
say
decided.
thank you for honoring our invitation despite the
Yeah.
friendship, but at least you open up to say, yeah, let's do it. Let's talk about this. So let's
Yeah.
get right into the program. First of all, how's your family doing? I want to say congratulations with the wedding and tell us how's the family doing. How it
Wow.
seems like they've been married.
Wow. You guys are informed. Yeah, I got a wife now, and we are doing well, quite well, and I just hope for the best in the future because she's a good lady. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Congratulations on that one. And
Yes.
thank God.
The
Congratulations.
good
Yes.
news, the
Yes.
good news there is that we have a bouncing baby girl.
There you
So
go. See there?
yeah,
See there? There
bouncing.
you go.
Yeah, yeah,
Honor is working, working.
yeah, yeah. Working. You're right. You're right. You're
Working,
right.
working. Congratulations on the
Thank
baby.
you. Thank you.
All right. So just um as we about to go into questioning, so I will ask you some questions and then Woody will come in with some questions and then and just like that, and then we will try to keep this in maybe about 45 to an hour conversation, to an hour conversation, so that at least we could be out of here soon today. So Small,
Yeah.
being a Lutheran, being a Christian, and serving in the House of Representatives, just tell us how that plays out for you as a person with different standards in life.
Yeah. All right. From the church, and we grew up together, especially with the church, from the Sunday school to the youth to the acolyte. There are certain values that we look at from the Bible that we grew up with when we were a kid. But then at the national level, you have slight changes where sometimes the issue of integrity turn to go under the carpet, where as a Christian you believe that this is certain value I have within me. This is the principle that I should live by. But then when you get there, it's a different ball game. But then
Mhm,
you have to like keep it up to make sure that you can be a role model for other lawmaker. So it's a
mhm,
tough one at the Capitol building. And one thing I gather, even for us lawmaker of the 55th, uh,
mhm,
there is something after the certification when they give you the certificate from NEC and they classify you as a lawmaker, a representative, a legislator. Then you get to section where you have to go through the coronation of oath. So this is what I gather from the coronation of oath. Uh, when you are giving when you are taking the oath, when you try to swear like on the Bible, there's something that you kiss. It's the Bible that you kiss, nothing else but the Bible. So we also have what we call the affirmation of faith, where I'm from different religion and I don't think I need to kiss the Bible. But notwithstanding, whether Muslim, whosoever that have been going there, especially the 55th, we all kiss the Bible. So
hmm,
yeah, the Bible is something major, even from our constitution. When you look at the preamble, right, the preamble that talk about we the people of the Republic of Liberia. But then when you see in the next paragraph, you see they acknowledge God within our preamble. So it tells us that there is something about the Bible and the Constitution. This part of the Constitution being the rule that guide us, because even in the Bible, Christ make mention of when they're asking the question with the queen, he make mention of two kingdoms. Give to Caesar's, which is the world. What is Caesar's? So respect Caesar kingdom, likewise respect God. So it were
mhm,
twofold. Yeah, it were twofold. But then within the house,
mhm,
you have majority Christian
mhm,
and minority Muslim. That's the two major religion, right? And
mhm,
being majority Christian,
mhm,
there are certain norms. that are gathered even from our own constitution. When you look at the Bible, where we start about the three branches of government, when we
Mm-hmm.
talk about the three branches of government, you will look at it also run down in the Bible where Christ in Isaiah 33:22, where Christ said, "For the law is our judge,"
Mm-hmm.
right? And he went on to say, "For the law is our lawgiver." And the last
Mm-hmm.
part he said, "And the law is our king," right? So from
Mm-hmm.
there you have three branches of government. So nothing changed. You have judiciary, the executive, and to that of the House of Legislature. So from my understanding, from my perspective, as a lawmaker and a Christian, I believe nothing changed. It's all about the Bible, and we should live by the principles and the value that God called us to live by. Yeah.
So, how do you deal with the situation of the outcry of people when they talk about rampant corruption in the House of Representatives and being a person of a Christian values, serving among people with different backgrounds and different behaviors, and you are there as a Christian, and you hear the public crying like this rampant corruption in the country, a rampant corruption in the legislature. Tell us how you've been navigating that space to even set yourself apart.
With the issue of corruption, remember now we are 73 in number. We are
Mm-hmm.
73. So one
Mm-hmm.
man cannot fight against 72. So you have to have people of like mind. This part we have few people of like mind. So all you need to do is
Mm-hmm.
that because if you even go for vote, most of the vote will go against you. Those of like mind from the Christian background. So what you do is to just keep to what you believe in. I'm not taking a dime, right? If the money is sent for a project, use the money for the people because uh, what I gather is that even the Bible made mention of it. The Bible says in Matthew that we should love our neighbor as ourselves. So the
Mm-hmm.
neighbor is looking at those vulnerable people, people who cannot afford, like the poor, right? Like disabled, right? So if the budget is allotted for this purpose, no need to jump people to be corrupt. Let the money be used by the people. So when you notice me, most often you will hear me on the radio speaking against ill, speaking against corruption. Just quite recently, we heard about the saga of the House that happened to do with the rule of law of both the minority and the majority bloc. So I stood firm with the minority bloc because the minority bloc happened to be the group that tried not to receive money. I think you heard about the RLG saga where you have majority of them pushing somewhere and they've been misusing our public form. So if you believe what you believe in, if you believe in the Bible and the Bible have a principles to say, look, thou shalt not steal, that should possess that quality of integrity. So all we need to do is to just be where we are, avoid the issue of stealing, avoid the issue of corruption. So this is how we've been finding our way through. And if we find area that we see huge number of like the budget alteration, I was the one that brought up about the budget alteration in the house, the lower house. So even the issue of war and economic crown court, I was the proponent of the bill. So we did that because
I was
like
coming to that. I was coming to that. Yeah.
right. So there were so many things that we feel that we need to do, like for justice. Is there in Leviticus 19:15 where God talked about we should have a system that is just, and also what He talked about we should not have something that is partial for the poor. We should not have something that like favoritism for even those in power. Right? He make mention in Leviticus 19:15. So there are things that for Sunday school we keep in us and I will live by at the parliament. Yeah.
Thank you, Honorable Moluba. Just before my buddy can come in, when he can come in, I know when you entered the House of Representative, one of your star moment in the House was there initiating the process of bringing forth the bill for the War Crime Court, and I know that that received a warm reception from your colleagues and others in the legislature. So, as we speak today, can you tell what is the status of that bill?
Uh, yeah, the bill itself have been approved by the president. They have established through 131, the executive order, they have established the office of the War and Economic Crown Court. It's just about the execution of it. And during the formation of the bill, during the period where we had to make sure other people the approval of the bill from the lower house was not an easy thing. um just think about it. We have people like, when you talk about war crime, certain group of people believe that it's affecting them, it's all about them, like the guys from Nima County. When we put forth the bill, it wasn't an easy thing, it was a very tough one, but we had to lay down the premise, we had to carry on the argument, we had to go through debate to convince other people to sign the bill. And God being with us, we kept praying, and at the Senate level, even the some of those who committed atrocities signed the bill. So it went through to the president approved it, and there will be war and economic chronicle. Whether they like it or not, there'll be war and economic chronicle. This part, even Prince Johnson death, I always tell people the war and economic chronicle is not just associated with Prince Johnson. No,
Right.
there were people who kill other people, right? And they need to be prosecuted. We cannot just allow people who kill to be outside making money, enjoying our natural resources, enjoying from our country, and we people that have died, there's no way, because there's a saying, they say the dead cannot speak for themselves. It is the one who is alive speak for the dead. So we are alive and we have to speak for the dead. So this is why we push it, and thank God I went through. Yeah.
Awesome, Woody.
Yes, and to be honest with you, my dear brother, having a conversation with you and, like I said, some of our other brothers that are in public service, sometimes um, we're so used to communicating with you in a regular way, but on this platform we have to make some adjustments. It's the same way
I
when
know you're right.
when I'm talking with just with Honorable Jokai,
Besides, okay,
to
yeah,
add all of those titles, and I'm just used to Big
yeah,
Joe. So Honorable
yeah,
Morba,
yeah.
I tell you, yeah. So Honorable Morba, all of the information you've just provided for me is not strange to me about you.
Mm,
Okay, it's not strange to me about you. You from our days back, you are someone who um is an advocate. You believe in justice. Okay,
yeah.
so it's nothing strange to me, that you will be a freshman lawmaker and making these these
So
strides
highlights.
in the
Yeah,
society,
you're right.
hairlines in society. But for me, I want to take it another turn. I want to take it another turn and move to a different area. Um, Elijah, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was last year, right? No, it was 2023 tanker disaster in Toronto.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
The tanker disaster in Toronto.
2024.
yeah, you're right.
2024.
2024, 2023 or 2024?
20,
2023.
that was this
2023.
December
23.
2023.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
December 2023. Yep.
Yeah.
December 2023. There was this tanker disaster in Toronto. And until now, um, how far is the investigation from the level of the legislature? Has the investigation concluded? And let me add a little bit to this, because I was on another platform called Citizen Awareness. It is a newly established platform, and geared towards providing information to our citizens. Um, so we started to discuss the issue of this fire disaster in Toronto, um, and I, for one, feel that the tanker company in the Republic of Liberia um, owe it to the people of Bon County, specifically the people of Toronto. Let's agree that the people went to the fire tanker to fetch gasoline, which of course that was the wrong thing to do. But there were a lot of missteps on the way as well. One, entering the town of Toronto and most of our towns in Liberia, we don't have like those indicators reminding drivers that slow your speed down, you are entering this major town or so. We don't have those like speed barriers. For example, I was just naming one, like in the US, when you are approaching a major intersection or a major curve or a town, there are some grooves on the road. There are some grooves on the road that when your car roll or your car drives over it, it makes that heavy sound to alert you that okay, you are approaching an environment. It makes that heavy sound, almost like when you're using a washboard. It makes that sound like you have like two, three of them. Okay. And then to caution you to come down to a speed, to a normal speed. Um, That we don't have that. Even indicators letting the drivers know that you are entering a major town, like slow down. We don't have those. Okay. Then the company itself employ an inexperienced driver. And all of this thing, in the absence of all of these, this driver drove into this town. He got he lost control of his tanker truck, and his tanker truck flipped over. Either way, if the people had gone there or not, the tanker truck was going to explode because gasoline was going straight to the engine in an unusual way. The gasoline should go to the engine in a normal way in the car, but it was going in an unusual because the tanker truck was leaking. Okay, that's why it's written flammable. So it was leaking. So either way, it was still going to bust into, so it was still going to explode. Okay, and the people did not cause the explosion. All right. So coming back, first I want to know what is the level of the committee that was set up. I know at the time the president elect, a committee was set up to investigate. So what is the level of investigation when it comes? Let's say, what's the status of the investigation when it comes to the level of the House of Representatives?
All right. I'm not the president to speak from the executive side because I think
Right.
the president set up an investigation committee to do that
Okay.
investigation. I would not like to speak about that, but what I will speak about is from the House, where I'm from, the
Right.
55th.
Right. The House. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, the House. I think we have what we call the Bronx County Caucus. They
Okay.
started that. What they did was to summon the police director. They also summoned the guy from Public Work, the Minister of Public Work, and they started the investigation, but it was sent to a committee room to try to
Okay.
do more fact finding. So,
Okay.
but what the police director promised us, I think some
Mhm.
measure were are put in place so that
Okay.
the issue of especially tank the tough running, the speed and other thing.
Right.
And the investigation is still ongoing. I will not like to speak about that before I see something
Okay.
wrong, which would
Right.
it may not be in the place of the entire investigation. But I think the
Okay.
investigation is still ongoing by the Coco of Bon County. Yeah.
That's fair enough, and I appreciate you for even providing us the information that at the House, at the level of the House of Legislature,
You're right.
specifically the 55th,
Uh,
has interest in this. Um,
Where it
yeah,
just to add on what you are saying on to
yeah. Go
Honorable
ahead. Go ahead.
Small.
Yeah, yeah.
Now,
Go ahead.
like the issue of the tanker, it the situation affected citizen and it also affect the Lutherans in that community in Totota. And we from the US, the Bone County Association and other nonprofit organizations here, we made a lot of contributions towards the recovery process. And we are still doing some intervention in Bone County. And we stay here, the people crying, the people saying the government is not doing anything for them. So being a person from the Lutheran background, being honorable from the Lutheran background, where members of your church were affected, I think it's not something that like I'm asking you to do, but I think it will be really necessary if you can put some force and ask about the status of this investigation because it's part of your oversight, so that at least we people can understand that because I know Liberia when something happened today and the flame goes a whoop, and then when it goes down, and if nobody makes follow up on that situation, it dies down and nobody hears about it. Because we know that there was a police officer that he told the commander that was in Toyota, he went to India, he was in India, he was struggling there, he was crying that he was abandoned and all that kind of stuff. And I think it's part of the house's responsibility to make sure that some of these situations are laid to bed and the necessary steps are put into place because people are having a tendency of saying, "Oh, the people went to steal fuel." Yeah, the people went to steal fuel because there was an opportunity. Remember, our society is illiterate. People approach that tanker out of ignorance. People saw opportunity to
You're right.
ease their poverty, and there was an opportunity to get free fuel, so they went there. And you have only one police officer that was trying to talk to a bunch of people who like had a mind made up to go over there. So They, like what they say, either way, the company that owns this thing called should have some corporate social responsibility to the people of Toronto. There should be so because there were environmental degradation that happened, the pollution happened in the environment with that tanker exploring. So, like what is it? Either way, whether the people had gone there, if they had not gone there, the tanker was still going to explode. Okay, cause and effect. If the tanker had not fallen over there,
You're right.
we wouldn't have any disaster happening. So there's some level of responsibility here. But what I have seen, and when we brought Tony Lavapla on this show, and we also asked him, and from what we were hearing, is like they putting the tanker owner in a victim position rather than putting the people who got affected by this situation in the victim's position. So I think there's a need for some really strong advocacy from the
Yeah.
level of the house.
So,
Yeah,
Elijah,
that's all I can.
what I would, yeah,
Yeah.
what you make mention, you said something that was so beautiful. You talk about the mentality of our people, the way they take things, the same way it runs directly into the house of the 55th, way people think, because you have roughly five lawmakers from Bond County. If I'm the one to take the initiative, I think it will create some mixed feelings. So what I would do would be to consult them to see how we can have a discussion. Hopefully by tomorrow, we'll start the process to see how far they have started with this issue of Tututai with the tanker. So from there, if there is no way, if I am not hearing anything from them, like respond, then I will take the initiative to see how best. Because I'm from the Lutheran Church, and my middle name colleague from Bond County. I think I have some
Mhm.
allegiance to Bond County, and I will see what I can do to help.
Some stake. Yeah, you have some stake in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And Elijah, I want to say thank you for the follow-up question, Honorable. Moreover, I want to say thank you for taking that bold step, because this is the thing. Though you directly represent the people of District Number
M-
Three, but District Number
Monserrato,
Three,
yeah.
Monserrato District Number Three, but
But
in Monserrato,
yeah, I'm still a
yeah.
Liberian lawmaker.
Thank you very much. You are a Liberian lawmaker, and in
You're
your
right.
district, you have everybody within your district. You have
You're
everybody,
right.
all
You're
tribes and
right.
towns, and
Yeah.
everybody in your district. So,
Yeah, and some of the
I
guys, some of those that were affected came from my district also. Yeah,
thank you very
yeah,
much. Thank you.
yeah.
And not only your district, but from your church. Some are
Church, you're
from your
right.
church, the
Yeah,
Lutheran Church in Liberia.
yeah, yeah.
Um, I want to make a follow up also to this. And I know that we cannot beat you on this a whole lot, because
Yeah,
you've just clarified to us the house is dynamic.
yeah.
It requires some processes, so you cannot
Process.
just
You're right.
go up
You're
like,
right.
like that. So um my next question has to do with this. And it's sorry that for me it's not like in sequence that we're going to
But
start
it's
from the house and
okay.
start coming
Yeah,
down.
it's okay. It's
It's
okay.
all
It's
around.
okay. Yeah, it's
The
okay.
the, the Lutheran Church in the Phoebe Hospital. Phoebe Hospital is nothing strange to you, and also the Zosa Current Hospital is nothing strange to you, and like some other hospitals. Um, some hospitals in Liberia will understand that they are 100% private owned, and which of despite these hospitals being privately owned, they still render services to the society,
Government,
and
society, yeah.
yeah, and I believe the government, you know, does give
Subsidized,
them that
yeah.
kind of subsidy. But there are some hospitals, they are like semi-public, or they might be a private, but they are mostly public institutions, and they are providing more, you know, public services to our people, and they've been strategic. One is the Phoebe Hospital, one is the Current Hospital, and I know there's a Tottenham Bird Hospital, which is a government hospital, because I lived, in Tottenham Bird Hospital. Um, if we look at the budget, Honorable Mulva, looking at the portion of how much going to the health sector and these institutions that I've mentioned, you know, and comparing it with other sectors in government, I think that the ratio there, you know, is not, appropriately aligned. I know there will be some other priorities, that government want to look into, but health, health is very, very much paramount. And I will say this quickly: the current president of the United States of America, Donald Trump. Donald Trump said that at the end, about the 20th of February, um, he tried to do away with the birthright right. That is, if your parents are not from the U.S., are not citizens of the U.S., and then you come and give birth here, the person would not. And I see that, and I'm going to make it specific to Liberia, and Liberia is not unique. More people who send their wives up here to give birth, they are elite people in society or they are government officials. While I was born in JFK, but they don't want to have their kids born in Liberia because of the substandard health services in the country. Sometimes Phoebe Hospital will be totally dark. People have to. We had Dr. Briggs. Okay, we had Dr. Briggs on the
Ricks,
show. Briggs and
Ricks,
somehow
Dr.
Briggs.
Ricks.
Dr. Ricks. Sorry, thank you so much. We had Dr. Ricks on the show, and she was talking about it. She's going to be coming back. So, my question to you is, when the issue of the budget is being discussed, um, do we actually look at it from, let's say, from this? And sorry if I be so more personal on it. Do we actually look at it from the level of interest? What I mean interest is, what amount of people who are mostly beneficiary in this locality, how much are they really going to benefit from this when it comes to the budget? I know that, and I'm not going to beat on you again, a lot is being given to the legislatures. A lot. Even engagement is so much being given to them. But if you look at the budget, and to our people, like Dr. Rich came here and she complained about it, what do you think that the House can do to improve or to increase the amount of subsidy to these institutions?
All right. This one is very long. It's a long discussion,
I
but
know it's long. I know
let me
it's long.
just
Yeah.
let me just try to play with it small. The
Okay.
first thing, I when you hear people saying that the House of Legislature is where most of the money has been placed, that's not true. And
Okay.
our job is to formulate the budget. Despite budget scrutiny,
Mm-hmm.
our work is not to appropriate the budget. The executive branch does that. So here's the thing. When we look at the allotment 2024, I've always been saying this, and I've been making clarity so that people can understand.
Okay.
Because what happened in the past is that we hear lawmakers that just remain mute without talking. So most of the burden like shift to them because people feel that they were just there to eat money, and I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it that way. So here's the thing: 2024 budget, we had 700 million plus. That's a huge amount. I always
Mm-hmm.
see that. And what was the area of priority? They have health, they always health, agriculture, and education. Those three areas. The allotment. Then we look at the three branches of government. What was the allotment for both? The House of Legislature, both Senate and the lower house, had roughly about $53 million. $53 million is 7.57% of the budget. To your own calculation. So then judiciary, what's the allotment? 17 million. We're talking about we need a fair and transparent justice system. You put in 17 million less, which is 2.54% of the budget. So 2.54 and 7.57, when you add it up, it takes you to roughly about 10%
Ten
of the
percent. Yeah.
entire
Mm-hmm.
the entire budget. The judiciary and
And
the
legislature.
legislature. So who carries much of the amount? This is one of the analysis that people are not doing. So 90%
The
goes
executive.
directly to the executive. 90%. Then you look at the various sector per the budget. Look at the appropriation, various sector. When you look at health, let's start with health.
Health. Yeah.
Health have a very huge amount, above $98 million. So move to JFK. So I will ask the question: what this amount going? $98 million. We
Thank you.
cannot see it with our own eye visually. You cannot see it. So is it money appropriate just for individual pockets? What are those policies that will help guide our very hospital, that will help enrich our very hospital with equipments and other things? Go JFK. My daughter nearly died. Maureen, I told you heard about Maureen when she fell from the step.
Right,
She
yeah,
had a
yeah.
brain issue. I
Oh,
flew
sorry.
from here,
Yeah.
like yeah, from Liberia to Ghana because there were no MRI. There were no scan. The only scan they had was in Nima County, Jackson Abdul Hospital. That night was a very tough night. I don't want to think about it. Go redemption. You stayed. There's no equipment. The only thing I experienced at JFK when we went there was fledgy, just the drip. Just drip. So just think about it. How many people, especially the maternity center, how many people die every time? How many of them die every time? But yet and still, we get a very lucrative budget allotment for them. So I believe
But
that most, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. You want to come in?
I just wanted to make a follow up on what you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just wanted to make a follow up on what you're saying, Small. Like you're saying that 90% of the budget goes to the executive, and I
yeah.
know that 90% is also distributed among different sectors of the of the,
You're right.
of the executive branch. Like some go
You're right.
into the very line ministries,
Mhm. You're
agencies,
right.
stuff like that.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I know that part of your role is oversight over what goes to the executive. You got oversight over the
You're right.
executive,
You're
and
right.
if a particular branch of government or ministry is not functioning, you got the right to cite them. You got the right to call them and ask them questions. And to be frank, Small, I have witnessed some of the hearings where the court people to come and justify what happened. And sometimes, like even from the Senate point of view, sometimes it looks like just like people playing fun, that you just call your buddy to consider and then you guys have fun with them. Like you don't see the sincerity and the seriousness in the questions those senators are asking those guys to be really accountable. So the issue of accountability, I think, is a serious problem in Liberia,
Yeah. So
and I think the executive branch and that of the legislature, that you got the legislature, you have to put your feet down. Like you're saying, you guys getting like just a little portion of what goes to the executive, but yet then still, you guys are under the spotlight. Like you guys are living large, you guys are living the luxurious life, you got everything. But like the analysis you're giving here now, it explains a lot about what you guys are going through. But then, so in order to right that wrong, I think it is your responsibility. If the Ministry of Health, if you travel from, let's take for an instant, if you travel from Monrovia, you went to Zozo, Lofa County, the one renowned hospital within that region is the current Lutheran Hospital, right?
Current Lutheran
And now
Hospital.
that
yeah.
hospital is literally turning into a clinic,
Yep.
turning into a clinic, and it's serving like the vast majority of people coming from Guinea and other places coming to that hospital. Yet then still, the government subsidy to that hospital is very minute. So these are some situations like you want to call the
So
minister
so
to come and
so
answer a question
yeah.
what's
So
going on to this
Elijah,
place, you know?
Elijah, let me just do one or two
You can
clarity
come in. Yeah.
quickly. Yeah, yeah. So here's
Okay.
the thing. With the budget process, when we formulate the budget, when the budget is then approved from the Senate, when we concur both houses, we send it to the president for approval. The amount there, and in doing the allocation, like doing the COFA time, COFA was one person that told them, say no,
Mhm.
all of the money cannot go to health ministry. When you notice in the budget, bulk of the money is been sent to health ministry. But what COFA did was to try to align it with the very hospital. It was the very first time my hospital, right? The district hospital, Jean David Hospital, where most of our people go, bulk of the people, they usually receive in the budget 100,000. Imagine.
Wow.
So how much is 100,000? Can you use 100,000 for a year?
No.
So what we did was to allocate like double up the amount to 200,000, 200K. We ship it from health ministry and send it there to them, right? Even redemption was sent to 300K. So let's look at even the TVET program where our young people go for training. The TVET program, NVTC. You know how much NVTC were making? 4,000 United States dollars. 4,000 United States dollars. I'm saying that. Can 4,000 USD take care of NVTC? No. We have to like reallocate, improve that amount. So the issue with the executive branch, our work is to have oversight. But how much is the oversight effective? That's one thing. You have 73 lawmakers who were elected from various diverse, background. We came from different community, different district, and we are all not educated. That's one thing. In the house there, people see it for different reasons. People feel that when they go in there is to make money. It's all about making money. Some of us feel frustrated. When you talk about oversight, let's take, for example, you invite the minister to come. We did one hearing. I know you guys saw it on the media, social media. We did one hearing with the guy from Water and Civil. We did another with Public Work. We did another with Ami Moda. When they came, guess what happened? There were people who were there, right, in the interest of the minister, because something was going in their pocket. So how can the policy be effective? How can they be effective when people always want something to go in their pocket? That's one thing we need to stop. At the 55th, there's the reason we came about and said, look, enough is enough. What they did in the past, those money they ate in the past, let's leave it. But we need to audit the house. So one of the effective way of finding solution towards corruption, I will tell you today on the network, one of the corrupt institutions, one of the corrupt branches of government is the House of Legislature. Whether you guys like it or not, I'm saying I'm there. Very corrupt. So the only way we can stop this is to audit the house. It's to audit the house. This is what we're fighting for. I'm part of the minority bloc. I remain with the rule of law. So the only way, look, I will tell you this today. You see, the house is where usually pass money. Right? I call that money laundering.
You're making it law.
The house is
Yeah,
where you pass money.
law, yeah.
The house, the security apparatus, is the place the guys pass the money. One other budget I saw, it was 2023 budget. $7 million went just for one person. For one person. Then we continue to sit and we say budget. It all boiled down, not even to the lawmaker, it boiled down to the citizen. When you elect the wrong people, you expect the wrong result and you get the wrong solution. So it boiled down to our citizens. Most of the guys from the rural area, when they come, it's not about, they feel that it's not about education. It's not about education. If we vote qualified people in there, then the mind will be set, right? And this is why I push for the economic crime code. Not mostly the war crime code. No, the economic crime code. We need a system here. It could be under criminal code. It could be, we could say criminal code G. Where when people steal, we prosecute them. You listen to what happened at RLJ, right? People were distributing public funds. 15,000 each lawmaker. They went to the extent of 25,000 each lawmaker. That's public fund. That money could be used in JFK. It could be used redemption. It could be used to Tottenham High Public School. But they share among themselves, which is wrong. Which is wrong.
So I want to thank you so much, Honorable Mulva. You touch a point that a court should be established for to prosecute those government officials who will commit some financial crime, carry on some financial mismanagement.
Yeah.
And I will say this to you. I know Liberia declared independence, but most of the things that we do, we model the US. And this one thing I will also, I'm sharing this in support of the comment that you just made, that the U.S. senator, not even a U.S. representative, but a U.S. senator,
Yeah, right.
or not even just a U.S. government official, Bob Menendez or Robert Menendez, was sentenced to 11 years in prison for bribery.
You're right.
He did not kill someone. He did not
Bribery.
like go and loot from someone, but bribery as a government official. Because the act that he carried out, like you said, the bribery that our lawmakers or some of our lawmakers are receiving could help save lives of those in JFK Hospital.
You're right.
Let's say, for example, if you did not have the means to take our niece to Ghana, and I know you don't brag in it that okay, you
No.
took your child to Ghana, but
No.
that was just a last resort that you are taking. Say, you know what,
Yeah.
I just have
Try,
to.
try
I
with
just
no
have
way. Yeah.
to try.
Absolutely
You
no way.
understand?
Yeah.
So all
Just
the
to save
bribery
life.
that they're taking, all this money will have gone to our health institutions. And like Brother Small Molba said, not Brother Small, I'm talking about Brother Zina said that
No.
Zosa Current Hospital
You're right.
is practically a a modified clinic. Reduced to a clinic. Let's be honest. I've been reduced. Before you leave from Zosa to Vanterman, where you had Telewonia Hospital, that entire belt, everyone rely on Current
So,
Hospital. So
Willie,
yeah, go ahead.
so
Yeah,
I'm
go
not
ahead.
cutting you off. So the issue there, let's say Zozo, we got Phoebe, the rest of the other hospital. You know
Yeah.
why those lawmakers from that region will not put money in there?
No.
It's not about their people. Willie, trust me. It's about what they can get their interest, their pocket to retain their position. So if you put money to Zozo, you will not get it from Zozo. So you send it the place you can get it from. So the issue of the removal of Kofa, it's all about this. That's it. The guys want to control the budget. They want to send money and go for it. Honor Kofa, no, you will not get it.
That's
Kofa
true.
was,
That's true.
yeah, he was a tough guy. Ask anyone, they will tell you, Honor Kofa, you will not get it. The same guys, group of guys, tried to shove $4 million and money at him. Kofa said no, it will not happen. Today, they remove Kofa. And I can say to the president, I'm from Lofa County. I will say this on radio, state radio. Mr. President, you need to really, really wash your back.
Folks, you are in tune to MLC Talk, and this is the platform where we discuss all things Lutheran. Today we have with us the Honorable Representative of District Number 3, Montserrat County, Honorable Small Collie Molba. He is not only so proud to being a representative. Yeah, that's fine. Proud to being a representative, he is a lifelong Lutheran. You know, today, just before Honorable Molba when he had a network issue, I was thinking, I was just saying to myself, if we do a DNA, but this time around, the D doesn't stand for the diagnosing phosphate and all of that, but the D stands for denomination.
Yeah.
Test. If we do a denomination test, his entire bloodstream, you will find Lutheran, and it will just be Lutheran. So
you're right.
Yeah. But you were in speech, Honorable Molba, until we had that network glitch. And then we can have Elijah come in.
One thing, if the thing is so it's so terrible to fight corruption. So let's look at the issue of Josiah Joker. What he did with the supplementary payroll, he did a brilliant job. Mm-hmm. Well, how many of them appreciated what Josiah did? They feel that Josiah is the bossy step, Josiah trying to take people from job. No, you cannot have a corrupt system. People need to be aware of that. So the policy, I will tell you, I have been there for over 1 year. We have good policy in the book, but the strength and will to implement the implementation aspect of it, that's the difficult part. Because everybody is about, this is what I always tell people, in order to go there, you should be already financially equipped. Just what you said, The same people, you make reference to the US. There were
Yeah.
people that they arrested, they placed in jail, right?
Mhm.
Because of bribery. But how many of them Nemo on the sanction list? When America sanctioned them, they took money, they sanctioned them, but they are still in government. Our people voted them.
Yeah.
Our people voted them. They hold key position. The guys are still riding big cars. So our people continue to make this mistake, and you will see all around the world. So the best way to handle this is to create the economic crown code. So the war economic crown code is something brilliant that we should support.
It is a brilliant idea. Yeah, it's a brilliant idea.
Yeah, we should
Yeah.
support. If we
It's a
cannot
brilliant
do that,
idea. Yeah.
if we cannot do that, Elijah and my brother, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Mhm.
don't know 10, 15 years from now, what will happen with the younger generation. Let me tell you this. The guys said they were fighting drugs. They placed in the budget. See the amount they placed in the budget. 12, they said $12 million, but it came down to 3 million 2024 to fight drugs. Can you fight drugs
Mm.
with 3 million? You need to
Hell no.
build rehabilitation center. So
Mm.
we do things and we are not serious. That's the part of it. Until we can get serious. This thing that I always say, you see now, even with the issue of the house, what we expected to have been done, the first thing we talk about Christian ethic, the value of a Christian leader. We also have in the civil society, we have Christian group, the Council of Churches, Liberal Council of Churches.
Right.
Just today, the ex official came out with a statement. Just today,
Mhm.
at the Genesis, the Council of Churches should have come out. Our
Right.
traditional leaders should have come out with a statement.
Right.
But they all sat down, and the entire thing had turned to be a terrible one. Now you get to the house, you got two group of people, minority and majority. Hmm? And see what the majority doing. To the extent they're giving committee out. Let's take for example, let's see how corrupt their system is. We have the youngest person. I think she's about 24, Bintu Masale from Grand
Right.
Cape
Yeah.
Bound. So
Yeah.
you think who should head the youth and sport committee at the house? It should be the
I would
younger
say
one.
I would say the younger one. Yeah,
Bintu,
Bintu.
right?
Mhm. Yeah. Mhm.
But the one they gather now, that the old man, 78 years old, Sitikwa, 45. Hmm?
I mean,
So the perception, the way people see things, it's not about doing the work. It's not about implementing. It's about what you can get for your pocket and your people in the district. That's wrong. Even what they can get for their people, some of them are not doing nothing. They get the money, they fly to the US, live good life, come back 2, 3 weeks, come back. That's what they're doing. But when we're saying it, they hate us. And I will not stop saying the truth.
you know,
Yeah.
Honorable Morba, again, being a veteran acolyte, we have a prayer in the Bible that says, "Our
May your
light
light
should
so shine."
shine."
You're right. Yeah, I always get at the back. Yeah.
Yeah, that our light should shine. So please, I know it's frustrating, being in that area, and the information is not only from you alone. And I've listened to other lawmakers, but again, with our topic today, faith and public service,
You're
serving
right.
with a Christian value,
Value. You're right.
serving with a Christian value, and that's one of the moral values of a Christian, that we should let our light shine before men,
For
that they
men.
will see our good
Yeah,
work
good work.
and they will glorify
Good
our
work.
Father in heaven.
You're
Let
right.
your work, let your light speak for you.
You're right.
We have a song that says, "May the life I live speak for me."
I mean, you're right.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
please, I would just encourage you, let our light continue to shine, so that
You're right. The
despite,
Lutheran,
because
the Lutheran light.
the Lutheran light,
Yeah, you're right.
and like you said, before going to the house, um, you're one of those who was well seated, and I would say this for a fact, that without even you being a representative,
I'm
even
okay. You're right.
right, if our niece at the time had, without you being a representative, our niece had that emergency situation, you are still afford the opportunity to remove her from Liberia to seek advanced treatment. But what good would that be when the rest of your people are not really benefiting from it? So it is not the fact that you are a representative, but I know that knowing you from back then, we know that very well. You still had a means to move her up. I have another question. I know in the house we have like various caucuses, again. I want to make reference to the U.S. We have the squad group. These are people. These are women. One is from Elijah's state, honorable.
New York.
What's
Yeah, one from Minnesota,
one from
one
Minnesota,
from New
one
York.
from New York. Yeah. Okay.
Ian
Ian
Omar.
Ian Omar. Thank you very much.
Ian
They
Omar.
are strong advocates. Yeah, Ian Omar. They are strong advocates, and I know you one of those. When I see them, I see you being part of that group. Even if let's say if you were in the House of Representatives in the U.S., I still see you being part of that group. My question has to do with this. Is there any thought to have a quote unquote, if you want to call it a squad or you want to call it a Luther Force or you want to say something, is there any idea or plans in the making to have a Lutheran caucus? I know it may sound so so somehow, but is there any like how you will have the political parties will have their caucus? It's because I know we have Lutheran lawmakers.
No, again, I think I should only be the one person from the Lutheran Church.
No, Mema Brice is a Lutheran.
No, Mema Brice she's in the Methodist Church. I visited her church the last time.
Mema Brice.
Yeah, from the Methodist.
And this guy too. I understand this guy, according to Dr. Toto from Bon Mines. I understand he's a Lutheran too. The guy from the Bon Mines area.
The Bon Mines, what the born name? Famule.
Famule. I understand Famule is a Lutheran.
Famule is a Catholic. He's a Catholic.
Famule is a Catholic. Okay. That's the information we gathered. Okay, so so let's say in an event that we have more than one Lutheran, we have more than one Lutheran.
Yeah, we can have a Lutheran caucus.
We can have a Lutheran caucus. Okay,
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, but because I was actually thinking on that since we have more than 1-2 people in there, we can have a Lutheran caucus and to look at some issues, especially when it comes to
the Lutheran Church. You're right.
The Lutheran Church. But let me. I think we see Elijah trying to make some adjustments here. Okay, good. So Elijah, before you went out, I just want to make a follow up to this question. Honorable Mulba, I know you served, or again, correct me if I'm wrong. Previously, you were the head of the Labor Committee, the Committee on Labor. I don't know if you still are. I don't know if you still are.
No, I'm not.
Okay, no, you are not. Okay, unfortunately, you are not. All right.
But by law, let me make it clear. By law, I'm still the chair on Labor because they have to get their 49 a vote to remove the speaker and remove me. So what it did was to put me to good governance. And there are so many labor issues that we still got hanging, right? And it requires people with mind. It requires people with integrity. It requires people with a good heart and conscience to fight the issue of labor, because so many times I've been bought and I refuse. So that's the thing about men, right? The thing is our people, the life of our people, the deplorable life, right? You have some bad labor practices and people just try to, place it under the curtain. You also have the issue of outsourcing. That's the big thing now from the concessions. What they go about doing is to outsource just so that they can pay the fair tax to government as it relates to the employee. So there are so many funny things been going on. I visited the how you call them, Meta Steel, right? And just guess what? When I went to Meta Steel, the first thing they did was to call me my group because we are 7 in the committee. I'm the head for the committee. So they call me for a dinner. I told them, I said, no, well, I have my biscuit and I don't really eat. I think Elijah knows me for
No,
that.
yeah, we
Yeah.
know you for
So,
that.
yeah. I have my biscuit and juice in the car. So don't worry about me. So at the end of the investigation, what they were trying to do is to keep me away from where the worker lived. But I went there along with the police. I did all of the video. And what happened is that they called me and said, look, man, we got 15K for your group. So you just got to go. I told them, so no, I don't need money. The only thing I received was the call. I will say here, and I said it on the radio, national radio, ERBC. The only thing I received was the call. You got to leave that place. And I left. I had the country run. But people are suffering. This part, the issue of metal steel. See how much they pay our people. Some of the area you see $200, $300, right? That's
No,
less.
Small, you're
Look,
talking about. Yeah,
Elijah, Elijah.
I just want to bring something up that I saw, like just in testament of what Small is saying about
Okay,
what's happening in
I wanted
my
to
country.
land on that. I wanted to land on that question.
Yeah, but what happening in my country as it relates to Astera Metal, like the perspective they got Kwame Opawik's his show. I followed one of his podcasts and he was going live, right? There's this one town that is just off the construction area, right? And you have women that are going on the field in the swamp and they are digging out sand and their kids are there. Women, I'm telling you, women. Some of them are pregnant women, some of them are women that with a child, and they have the young children there in the swamp digging up sand and waiting for people to come and buy it. And like while he was doing the podcast, and you see the accidental train is passing on the railroad and is going with all of the natural resources. And you have citizens there in the swamp digging sand just to survive. Why the natural resources is being exploited and the people who supposed to be benefiting, like these companies, they're supposed to be paying them. There were agreement, there were social benefit that's supposed to come to these communities that they were operating in. How effectively have they been implementing those concession social benefit that's supposed to go to the community? And I know Accelerator gave millions of dollars, representatives and other people. What happened to that money? Like we're talking about the accountability issue. So if you have the word economic crime, you should be inviting some of these people from NEMA, the legislative caucus from NEMA County, the Bong legislative caucus, and even down to the council people who are in this area. They all should be accounting for the county development fund. They should be accounting for this money. But people don't hear. They just say, "Oh yeah, I see that Meta gave $3 million." What happened to the $3 million that Asila Method did? Who dispensed the money? How is it distributed? How is the community surviving and enjoying from that money? You know, I would just that just in support of what you're saying, Smo.
So the good thing about it is this: what the president did. They have this 2018 act, local government act. So now the lawmaker oversight has reduced. It's just a supervision role that we play now. So if you have the SDF, the Social Development Fund from this the rural concession, so those counties that should benefit will pass through the county superintendent, the office. It goes directly through internal affairs to the superintendent. But then it will be channeled through a contractive frame that would go about doing the work, right? It's not about the lawmaker again. No money will be delivered in the hands of the lawmaker, no. So I think this time around we'll see some improvement based on what they said. I think that should be the right one, where lawmaker will not receive money, let the people receive their money and do their own work. So I think there will be some improvement. But my only thing is, like just you mentioned about that's not only Islamita alone. We have China Union. I have been to China Union. See the life of our people. The clinic, they have an agreement signed, the MDA. But look at the MDA. Look at what they signed. They say this time in 5 years I will do this. Short time plan. They have long time plan, but there's nothing. There's nothing. So even if you, our role is oversight. Even if you try to consult the entity responsible for that, they will still not do anything. That's the kind of government we have. They will still not do
So
anything. I think we heard about Beer Mountain also in Cape Mount,
right, right.
right? The north.
I was just
Yeah.
about to,
Uh
yeah.
huh.
Right.
So
I was just about to
I
come.
was there. I went Beer Mountain. Let me tell you this.
Okay.
I went Beer Mountain until I got annoyed. I
Mm,
went on the radio. I came back. I went on the radio. We are joking in this country. Hmm? When you take the natural resources, especially for the mining industry, it depletes. Hey, when I come back, get to Beer Mountain, the gold are living in this country. Liberia is rich, but yet our people very poor. Get to Beer Mountain and see the amount of gold that live in this country. But because somebody controls something just for 25%. Look at the clinic in Cape Mount. Go and see the clinic. The clinic is just equivalent to a kitchen, 2 room. I was there. They talk about training center. They were building training center. Go and see the training center. You can even find 5 computers in there. Hmm? So where the money going? Here's the reason I came about just 3 days ago. I said what we need to do. I support Donald Trump. I support Donald Trump. Every every leader should have interest for his people.
yeah.
Every leader. So if Donald Trump saying, look, we have spent a lot, we need to control our money, it means that he hate Africa. We also need to control our natural resources too.
That's true.
How can we allow it to go down the drain? So what happened to our younger generation when they come in? So my issue is to introduce the government, right? The skilling, the expo skilling attacks, where the concession, those that run the company and industry, they need not to do their own skilling. They will carry the goods to Freeport, and then we skill and you can export. If we do that, we assign figure on what will be in the truck, right? Or whatsoever you're carrying, right? We assign figure so that some of this money can come back to Liberia so that our people can benefit. The mail can't tell you say we sign contract. I stood at Freeport. I was driving. I saw 100 trucks in line carrying iron ore. 100 trucks. But then when you get to Cape Mount, look at the roads. Look at the roads. I was seeing government officials ride on those roads to get to their town, their villages and other area. Hmm? Look at the Vera market. Look at the level of the people there. No school. I was there, Cape Mount, as labor, the head for labor. So the thing about government is that when you are the head and you try to like implement the policy, if it's not working, because what I do is this: when I try to force it, it can work. I get on the radio and expose them. That's my work. Let
That's
the
true.
Liberian people hear
That's
it.
that's shining the light. That's
So
right.
when they see that you're exposing them, the next thing is to do.
Mm, wow. That is deep. That is so deep. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's very,
it
yeah.
is it is deep. And I mean the thing is, if Elijah, if you listen to our dear brother Honorable Morba, is that he's fighting this battle, but it's like if you are fighting a battle and sometimes you
You
feel
don't have
that you're fighting
support.
alone.
Yeah, you fighting a lone battle and you don't have
Yeah,
support around you. It's hard for you to
Yeah,
succeed.
yeah,
that's it.
Like if you have like two, three, 4 persons like small multiply in the house who are advocating for the people, and like he strikes something and saying like, do not send people who are poor in the house. Do not send people who are not educated in the house, because if you send people who are not educated, you send people who are not economically balanced before going to the house. When they get to the house, the only thing they're thinking about is how to enrich themselves. So
right.
somebody who maybe in their ordinary life they have not even seen 10,000 out of USD presented to them, or they have not earned it, like seeing the physical cash given to them, and you put that man in the House of Representatives, like he be carried away by anything. Cause
That,
he's running to see how best he can enrich
yeah.
himself
So
and build houses that he never had. Like look at what the president just did recently, like suspending government official that failed to declare their assets. That's just a simple thing, like compliance. The simplest thing to do, compliance. And then you sit until you wait until your boss gotta
Elijah,
say have to suspend you before you do it. That's shameful. for those that are serving in government. That's very shameful. What are you hiding? And and then there's like
So,
other corrupt stories about government official embezzling money, buying luxury cars far with more than what the cost of the car is. Like, what you think is behind that? That's not people don't see public service in Liberia as a place to serve the people, but rather like place to enrich themselves. You know, place that they can go and enrich themselves and leave the rest of the people suffering. Like, you driving in your luxury car, you're passing in the community, the road is bad, and everything else is there, but you are there with your tinted glasses, you passing and you call yourself honorable, you call yourself minister, and all that kind of things. So you don't even think about the people that you passing by. That you go
so,
and take money and put it in your pocket. It's really, really
yeah.
bad. It's
So
bad.
Elijah, I would like to throw some emphasis on something quickly.
Mm-hmm.
You make mention of ISA declaration, and I will tell you
Mm-hmm.
some of those reasons that a lot of our guys refuse to declare their asset. I think it's just simple. Let's start from the house where I am, right? At the house,
Mm-hmm.
you have a lot of the guys who lie on an oath. Hmm? They got people who live in one room. Elijah, trust me. But when they are running, they either use somebody's property as their property, and election commission like gave them the go ahead. And this is why I say we need a monitoring, even the asset declaration unit, LACC. They need to create a monitoring arm when someone
The
declare asset.
verification.
Yeah, because most of the
Yeah.
assets I saw, they are fake. You have a senator who have served government 2 terms, and they tell you say they get 5,000 in their account. You believe it? You believe it? Elijah, the guys are joker. We talk about Christian value. Christian value. They got some lawmaker, 18 years. They have gone 18 years, and they tell you say they got only one house. So you need not to be a lawmaker now when you get one house. Don't retain the position because you're not serious. You're not serious. So I support the president, right? The 1 month they gave them, if they can't still declare their assets, they should fire them. That's the only way people will
That's
be
true.
serious in their country. That's the only
Mm-hmm.
way.
Yeah. When
you
they
know,
when they can we
yeah,
the people and then get some
yeah,
questions
sure,
from the chat.
yeah, sure, absolutely. And quickly before we do that, I just want to add this that when our dear brother mentioned that election, the decision that Donald Trump is taking, and I'll be honest with you, I for one, I'm a Democrat leaning independent, but I would tell you for a fact that not everything that Donald Trump says, I'm against it. Okay, uh, um, I believe or I support some of the actions that Donald Trump is taking. One key thing is leaving our people suffering, no good healthcare facility. And because you are a government official, you have that money, you can bring your people up here for healthcare. Donald Trump should not only stop to those who will bring their people, their wives here to give birth, but he should also extend it to unless if there's just no any other means that the government is not, I would say government, that there's no other means that the person should have been taken care of in your country, or I mean some grave illness that you have to bring. But
You, sir.
just heart attack and stuff.
Let
No,
me
no,
clarify quick.
I come, my brother. Just heart attack, or just some regular sickness. They should not come to any modern country.
You're
They should
right.
be taken care of, because I'm telling you, our country is rich. No, let me just say this quickly, and we're going to recognize young people. Elijah and Brother Mohammed, let me just say this quickly. Let's look at the state of Maryland, or let's look at the state of Georgia, where I am. Right? How many resources really? I know somebody will want to argue that okay, the people system have been in place, but how many resources really you have in Georgia? It's just that the system that is put into place, the people are making the system to work. Is there corruption? Yeah, but it's at a very minimum level, to the extent that you can really detect it. It's almost like if someone has HIV and AIDS and on their regular antiretroviral treatment. The person has AIDS, but to detect it is difficult because the person is on a regimen, is on that system. Okay, how much resources does Georgia has? Comparing it to Liberia, the natural resources that we have. So now it brings me to this question that I ask myself most of the time. We say, okay, if we are not drilling oil from Liberia, so how come NOCA is dishing out this amount of money? So where is the money coming from if we don't have oil in Liberia? Because some people say we don't have oil. But if we don't have oil, then you have the institution, the National Oil Company of Liberia, NOCA or something, but dishing out this kind of money. When the Roslyn or Rosemary or what her name is,
Rosie
Roslyn
Dennis,
without being in public service, did she actually purchase a $30,000 car in the parking lot and say $30,000 car? I purchased it from her own purse. Then you're going to buy two $75,000 cars? Let's be real, man. Let's be real. But quickly, we recognize our people. I just wanted to add that point.
Yeah, so before you recognize our people quickly, because I'm from the Lutheran side, we all from the Lutheran side. So before people hold me for my word. So the issue, what I make mention of first with the issue of Donald Trump. I was speaking on the dependency theory, right?
Right.
Dependency syndrome. Where we Liberians, we believe in, the donors from outside to help us. So I just want to take you back to 1961. You came into Liberia in 1961. From 1961 to today's date, before Trump came down with the shutdown of the USAID entity, you will understand that we have used $2.4 billion, right, on health.
Wow.
On health. So look at our health sector. For 1961, look at our health sector.
Only one MRI machine in the country. That's a shame, man.
So what would Donald Trump? What would you guys? Donald Trump want to use the U.S. money here and no improvement, nothing.
But
take that money.
What change is that? What change is that going to make? If from 1961 on to now you only have one MRI machine,
do your research, you will see.
When Ghana now is talking about nuclear energy. But you don't have one. You only have one non-functional MRI machine. I would say non-functional.
The one that JFK down. The one JFK down.
Don't even go to Ghana. Go to Burkina Faso. The president.
I don't want to mention Burkina Faso because Burkina Faso now is on a different level. It's on a different trajectory. Burkina Faso. I don't even want to go around Burkina Faso.
You don't get to me. You don't get to me when a guy appeared in Ghana. When the guy appeared in Ghana during the inaugural program, right?
Yeah.
They were all sitting there clapping for the young man.
Yes.
That's shame on them.
Shame.
That's shame.
It's a shame.
Go and do your.
Sure, absolutely. And we'll recognize our people quickly because this is something that we always do on the show right here, and then we'll try to wrap up. I want to recognize brother Larry Merlin. Larry Merlin, he's welcoming you to the platform, brother Larry Merlin. We also want to recognize this is our bishop assistant, the Reverend J. Louis McHale. J. Louis G. McHale. He's also following us, and this is one of our regular followers. His name is Melikpele K. Smo. So Father Smo is from St. Louis, Missouri State. He always follows us. Want to recognize him, and one of our own brothers too.
You gotta address Father Melikpele concern why the topic changed to the Lutheran, but we're talking about.
I know, but if Father Smo, if you look at the topic, we are discussing faith and public service, serving with Christian values, and our dear brother, the Honorable Smo Colin Mulba is. I don't know if it's what renowned. I don't know. I would say it renowned Lutheran, it's staunch Lutheran, but what I would say simply is. But a Smoker Mulba is a Lutheran from the Warehouse congregation. And I'm proud to say that. I know, Elijah, you want to fight me on this, but he's from the Warehouse congregation, from St. Matthew's.
Okay? No, they will be all of the Bible and things.
Yes. So, yes. So, I want to recognize our dear brother, Bob Carter, and also our brother, David.
Bob Carter had a question. Listen, Bob Carter had a question.
Okay, I'll go back. Let me just recognize let me just recognize
Jerome
the former
Jalan.
president, yeah, the former president, Royal Jerome Jala, we also want to recognize you too. So, with time is fast spent, and we're going to be wrapping up. So let's, uh, Honorable Mulva,
Yeah.
Brother Carter has a question. He said, greetings. Let me see. Okay. He said, greetings, Honorable Mulva, Honorable Small. You are on record for riding Keke to the Capitol for 2 sections. Now that you have received the $45,000 to for just car, do you think the amount is just too much for you guys? That's that's the question he's asking. Let me
Okay.
see.
let,
Let
let,
me
let me
see.
ask. Let me answer it quickly.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. Let's start with the 45. Let's start with the keke.
Okay.
Okay. I wrote keke to the Capitol building because of one major reason.
Mhm.
I think some of you know me. I think I have cars that I could ride, get out
Oh
the
yeah.
Capitol building.
Abs-
Car is not my
Absolutely.
issue. So,
Absolutely.
being one of the aggressive and tough lawmaker, I
Mhm.
had to seek the interest of the staffers at the Capitol building.
Okay.
We have people who make $300 and they pay their way every time to get a Capitol building. So
Mhm.
I feel it was not fair, and we needed them to have a boss.
Okay.
So I, along with Yeke Koluba, Jacob DB, and the rest of the other guy, got in the keke at the Capitol building. And another thing, we have some lawmakers who needed car to get to their various county. Not everybody have the hand after election. There were people, there are lawmakers who may not have even a dime to buy a car. So in order to speak for
Where that
them,
use people
we-
to get there.
yeah, yeah. So what we did, the issue of the car thing, he talked about $45,000. Yes, they get $45,000. This is what I did with $45,000. I don't need $45,000 car in order to have, because there should be a procurement process. So through the procurement process, I dropped the car down as far as $17,000, and
Wow.
the rest of the other money was used to start the technical college in District Number 3.
Wow.
The records are there. So the issue is not about. I always tell people the issue itself is not about car. Anytime you see me, yeah, people will ask again. This part of keke. I took T-shirt at Capitol Building. I made lawmaker the whole T-shirt. They were all in a T-shirt. I did it because of the war and economic crime code. I felt it was necessary in Liberia, right? I caused North doing session. It was the first time. No one is allowed to take T-shirt at doing session. But I took T-shirt there because people were playing with the war economic crime code resolution. So I took it there to create fear. And today, through 131 of the executive order, we have the office of the war economic crime code. So when I'm doing things, I do it in the interest of the people. Likewise, the issue of the rule and order. I'm not from Kofa Block. They usually say Kofa Block. I'm not from Kofa Block. I'm an independent person. I supported the rule and order because they stood firm for the Constitution. So, despite being behind them, I also have the right to make my own judgment. So today, I'm sitting there doing session to do the work of the people of District Number 3, Monserrado County. So people may have mixed feeling while we are be sitting with a majority block. So the issue of majority block and the law, two things. If the government recognize the one sitting as the presiding, it means work should go on. So I'm sitting there to do my work. But he's not my speaker. Deep down, he's not my speaker. But I'm there to execute the work of the people of District 3. That's it.
And I just want to add quickly to this, and we will try to wrap up on this. I just want to
Yeah.
add that even in the House, even in Congress, you have uh the minority and the majority. You have minority leader and majority leader, which of course you
Yeah.
have, in the two parties, the Democrats and the Democrats and the Republican. You have minority leader, Kim Jeffrey, and you have majority leader. Then you have the speaker as well. In the House. So it doesn't mean that if you find yourself in a majority or in a minority, you can work together with your colleagues. So if those who are thinking that you shouldn't go to session because you either in a minority or you are in a majority
You're right.
black or you are in the rule of law black, you should go. No, you still have to go to work because that's the reason why people send you there.
So
But I mean,
you're right.
and one thing I got clear from your response on this $45,000 car issue or riding the keke is that you were advocating for means of transport for the staffers of the legislature. It is not that you were using keke to request for $45,000 to buy a
No,
car.
no, no,
No,
no, not
it
true.
was
Not true.
advocacy for the staffers in the House legislature, and your action
So
along with your colleagues, it yielded a result. I think we saw
you're right.
buses dedicated for them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so we
yeah,
can give you a chance to
yeah,
make a wrap up comment on it, and then we can
yeah.
close up.
All right.
So,
So
then,
let me just
uh,
go
yeah,
ahead.
for you, I just want you to include into your closing statement, like you've been in the house for about a year now. So, as a young lawmaker in the House and representing the people of District Number 3, I would like for you to highlight some of your success stories and some of your
Mhm.
challenges in your closing remark,
All right.
specifically in
Okay.
your district now. Yeah.
Yeah, in the district. Yeah. Okay. I will first of all tell the people of District Number 3 hi, especially our Lutheran brother, those from the Lutheran Church in Matthews. I'd like to say hi to you. But there are so many things we did during our first year. One, we make sure to put out 400 women from the TVEC program, our personal sponsor program, where they were not allowed to pay money. They were not allowed to buy copybooks. They were not allowed to buy uniform whatsoever. We did all of that. And we also, the first lawmaker during the time of the motorcyclists, the first lawmaker to buy 500 helmets and share on the young people as it relates to traffic safety. We were the first. Then also the first lawmaker in the district to provide material for flooding. We provided 120 wheelbarrows. We did also with 120 shovel, rain boots, everything in 120. We gave it to the district. Then we also did the roundabout because government is just not about your district; it's about the country at large. So the second roundabout in Liberia was done by me. We did that roundabout, and we did it with our own thing, our own wear. Then we also did the foundation for our TVEC program, our technical college. We completed the foundation. Up to today, we have completed the first stage, first floor. We're going to second and later third floor. So we also provided 168 solar light in the entire district, first of a kind. We also did the roof from Coca-Cola Factory to West Bend to Lizo up to Morrissey Fine, LBS. We did all of those roads. Then we also did the market from Wentown Market. And there was so many things that we have done. And for our own initiative in Liberia, we have the multi international school. We are doing the multi diagnosis center, right? And we wish to, because when my daughter fell sick, we wish to do that because it makes no sense that when you have, I imagine the pool where I came from. So if there were no money to like take my daughter from here to Ghana, and definitely she was going to die. So we just have to help our people, and we continue helping. And with the issue of policy for the district, we have other policy that we push. The issue of the PMVA Technical College, the issue of making sure that we have a fire service truck in the district. So there are so many things that we have been pushing, and to our Liberians, we say we take God, thank you, remain strength and firm to make sure that those agenda that should be pushed by us will be pushed so that our people can benefit. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you.
very much. Thank you very much, Honorable Bolivar, for taking up your time to have this conversation with us. And we look forward to most of your robust action in the House of Representative. And I hope you take into serious consideration some of the things that we discussed here today. And I know
You're right.
that you're gonna make follow up on those
This
things
week, this
because
week, this week.
yeah, as lawmaker, you guys have oversight, and the most important thing is for the lives of our people to be improved. So we really appreciate what you're doing in your district, and as a Lutheran, we are proud of you, and we are with you. and we'll continue to kind of sing your praise. Like you, Dr. Joge, that he's been in a hot seat that people are crying everywhere. But those
Right.
of us who are in corporate service in other places, we know exactly what he's doing is the right thing, and change is hard. In order to achieve it, people got to cry, people got to stream, and at the end of the day, they will start appreciating what you guys are trying to do in Liberia. So thank you all very much, and we hope to have you back here sometime again.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a
Yeah, sure.
pleasure.
And I also want to just add to my brother Elijah Zena, and I want to say thank you very much for for taking the initiative to join us today. And like we mentioned earlier, that since you've visited us, rest assured that we will be checking with you again. And
Thank you.
I think we also need to do justice to some of the other work that you've been doing prior to going to the House of Representatives. That is the Motive International School. I think we need to discuss. I think we need to discuss the Motive International School. We can invite you along with some of your staffers, or maybe if you just want your staffers to come. I know I know they are well informed. When
Yeah,
it comes to
yeah,
the
you're right.
work of your of the school. So I mean, all of the developments from Moti, and I do appreciate you, that you did not only just take your child for advanced treatment, but now you're saying that because of this reason I took my child, so we should have a diagnostic center. Let us
Yeah,
first diagnose and
you
see
know,
what the reason is, and know,
you're right.
then we can make recommendation if the child, if the person needs to
You're
go
right.
for advanced treatment or so. We really want to appreciate you on that. So we think that I know Elijah and the rest of our colleagues will agree with me that it is very much important. We need to bring Honorable Small back so that we can,
Mm.
we can discuss some of the good things that he's doing just outside of the legislature. As a Lutheran, we can bring him back so we can discuss some of those. But again, I want to say thank you very much, and
Thank
thank
you.
you. If there's just any one last closing comment, you are welcome to say that. But I want to say thank you so much.
No, thank you. It's okay.
Okay, all right, all right.
Thank you.
All right, Wendy, it's close now.